You create new client-side routes in your app by configuring them on the route service, and services in Angular are configured using their underlying providers. Therefore, we'll actually add new routes using the routeProvider. You configure providers inside a module's config function. In this example, I've created a new module named app and specified ng-route as a dependency. I'm then calling the config function on the new module and injecting Angular's routeProvider since it's the thing we'll actually be configuring. Inside the config function is where the routes actually get defined. For each route, we call the when function on the routeProvider. The first parameter passed to it is a string representing the URL of the route. In this example, I've just specified a / as the URL, meaning this will be the route for the root of the application. The second parameter to the when function is an object that lets you specify properties on the route. In this example, I'm showing some of the more common properties you're likely to specify. The controller property lets you specify which controller in your app will be associated with the route. In this example, it will be the home controller. I'm using Angular's controller as syntax in my app, so I'm also specifying that the controller will be referred to as home. That basically means the view bindings I specify will be properties of an object referred to as home. I should point out that it is possible to use the controller as syntax without using the controller as property. You can use the alternative syntax shown here to specify how you will refer to the controller at the same time you specify which controller to use. I personally prefer the more explicit controller as property, so that's what I'll use in the sample app. The last property I'm specifying here is the template URL property. It defines the relative URL to the file containing the HTML view for this route. What this call to the when function is really saying is, when someone visits the root of the application, load up the home.html file and a new home controller, and refer to the controller inside the view simply as home. There are additional properties you can configure on the route, and you can chain multiple route definitions together by making additional calls to the when function. Let's jump into a demo and get routing configured for the School Buddy app using some of these techniques.